Bum 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 bum. Do boom bum 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 bum. That's no song particular. It's just like general, like in a
It sounded like
movie.
Dochi and Anxiety.
Oh, maybe a
Or
little.
what's it called? Somebody I used to know.
You know what it was in that point in any movie where they're like creeping into the house.
Boom,
Dun, dun,
boom,
dun, dun, dun.
boom. Sure.
Yeah, it's
I
always the
guess.
same. It's the same thing. Just you know,
You got the strings going boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I
that's
got
it. That's it. Oh, listen, we got a show for you. This is a podcast. Now listen, this is how this is going to work.
you.
Frank, we're both going to take some L's today. Okay. I'm going to help you through. I'm going to assist you through this Caitlin Collins topic. And I hope that you'll be there for me through the Meghan Markle topic. We're both going to keep each other centered
Is
throughout.
part of it correcting your spelling?
Caitlin Collins, you mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, Caitlin Collins, I have a message for you. You can't be out there going, I'm going to start the name with a K. There's going to be an A at the end instead of an I. Then I'm going to break alliteration and go with a C in Collins. And then there's an I at the end of that and not an A. And so that whole thing is an under average speller's nightmare. Okay, that name. It's terrible.
Who would put an A at the end of Collins? The A at the end of Collins?
No, but there's an A at the end of Caitlin. Who puts an A at the end of Caitlin?
Well, who puts an N in the middle of Caitlin?
An idiot, somebody who can't spell.
All right.
And speaking of taking an L, JD Vance took a big one today. Plus,
He's a
there's a
dick.
lady who lives on a cruise ship, and I didn't read the article, but I thought Frank would be into it, so I put it on the rundown. President Stephen A. Smith is gaining steam. The Last of Us has come back, and Hilaria Baldwin's boyfriend.
What?
Exactly.
What?
I think we hit a low point for CNN today.
Okay.
It wasn't a good CNN day. And there's a couple of things to this. During the president of El Salvador's visit to the White House, President Bukele.
Okay.
First of all, everybody criticized Zelensky for not showing up in a suit. The El Salvadorian president had a jacket on, but no shirt and tie. So I'm going to take exception with that. Listen, this guy is clearly a suave gentleman. He looks like $1 million.
He's also a dictator.
I would go. Oh, is he right? Is he a dictator?
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring this up on TikTok, Twitter.
But no wonder, Trump won't.
Right. Okay,
won't,
let me
piss on him, and we'll criticize him for not wearing a suit.
Let me just set the table. You're right about the suit thing because, okay, this comes from Beheezy Tweets. Thanks, George Beheezy Tweets person. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job on your part. Let me make this nice and big for everybody. You can see here, this is the outfit. A suave looking guy, good looking guy. You're coming to the White House, let's put a tie on. You know what I'm saying? Would I go clubbing with a non-dictator that was dressed like this? I would. I'd be like, me and Rico Suave are going to clean up, or I'm going to catch all the women that he doesn't want. I might have a shot at. That's what I would be thinking of going out with this guy, right? But at the White House, maybe let's throw on a tie. Again, you're not in a war. Zelensky, pass. War, good, okay. No need to put on a suit. I like his response for the suit thing too, by the way.
Okay, well, if you're not, I mean,
this guy no excuse.
Kid Rock shows up in a fucking he's fucking, he's selling fireworks at a roadside fucking farm stand, and you want him to, want everybody to all of a sudden wear ties.
I'd like Kid Rock to wear a normal outfit to the White House when he's in the Oval Office. I would like that, and I would like that too. I just don't talk about Kid Rock because he's insignificant. This, however, is the president of another country. So, but everything, all hell broke loose over this Kilmar Garcia situation. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, it's really bad. Okay. I mean,
So, but here, I want to take this one step at a time because Caitlin Collins, she asked a question in the Oval Office today and was the wrong, in my opinion, and I'll go through everything and Frank will have a chance to respond and everybody will have their say, but I thought it was the wrong time to ask the question. And I thought she took CNN to an all new low point. And here's basically why. Let me give everybody the synopsis. Frankie, you correct me here if you think I got anything wrong. Kilmar Garcia, which I don't know why they're going with the three names for him. I'm going to go ahead and call him Kilmar Garcia. I'm dropping Abrego from the name.
Whatever you want to do.
He's no assassin. Right? There's no need for we don't need three names for this guy. Let's just go with the two names.
True. That's true. So,
portrayed in the news, told to everybody that he is a former gang member, not in a gang any longer, and got hauled up in a whole ICE raid and was deported down to El Salvador. So it's like, we made a mistake. Now let's try and get the guy back. Okay, so the headlines all last week, if you're reading this, is oopsie daisy, we made a mistake. We sent this guy down there. He was here legally, obviously an immigrant, but here going through the process, doing everything, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Can I stop you a second?
Don't get ahead, but yes.
What?
You don't get too far ahead, but yes.
I'm not going to get ahead. I'm going to not correct, but add to what you said.
Go ahead.
So he was being sent down there, and while he was on his way down to El Salvador, the court said, turn around and bring him back. Supreme Court overruled everything. Nine votes to nothing.
He's getting ahead. You just said you weren't going to get ahead.
That's not ahead. You said to send him down to El Salvador.
Yeah, but that's where I started.
That's what. No. And then you said, "Oopsie daisy, send them back." It wasn't "Oopsie daisy, send them back." It was right. "Oopsie daisy, send them back." But President Oopsie Daisy defied the court and said, "No, He didn't turn the plane around in complete defiance of the Supreme Court." But go ahead. Okay, continue.
Okay, so yes, a district judge said he shouldn't have been deported. Okay, that's basically what happened. So then there was this thing of like, can they get the plane? Yes. Can they bring him back? Can they figure out where he is? All right. So that was that part of it. For me, everything changes on Sunday morning because Stephen Miller, not a fan.
He's a dick. Go ahead.
Okay. That's Frank's opinion. I'm not a fan. He's okay.
He's not okay.
He's not done anything for me, so I have no reason to defend this guy. But he goes on Meet the Press or whatever the CBS show is. But the host for the CBS Meet the Press, I forget what it's called. She's so hot, Margaret Brennan, whatever. She's so hot. Dude, she's so every episode she wears a blazer. Oh my god. Oh,
you with the freaking blazers.
Oh, I'm so in love with her. My Sunday tradition is I get up, I like watching Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning, and the trumpets and everything, and they kind of like set me up for the week. And then I stick around for CBS's version of Meet the Press, whatever the hell it's called. But I just see her every time, and I'm just like, oh my god, she is just breath. I don't know how anybody argues with her. If I was on her show, I would be like, you're right, Margaret. I can't argue with you. Gee. I'm a blazer man, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I think women look gorgeous, especially in blazers. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
So Miller goes on the Margaret Brennan, I wear a blazer and I'm super hot and the hottest woman in news show. And he says, we found out, by the way, that it was a mistake that somebody had mislabeled Kilmer as a former gang member, that was not the case, that he was suspected of still being in MS-13, and that we had the right to deport him. And what they were...
You go ahead.
Okay, so but this is what I'm telling you, what Stephen Miller is saying. And this is what, again, so through him, the current president administration is saying. They're saying that report that was initially put out that he was just some Maryland man is in fact not true. and that he is, or is accused of, or had broken, or basically what Marco Rubio had said. And I could play this clip. I have the clip so that we're not paraphrasing. If you want to get down to it,
I don't need to hear Marco Rubio, but go ahead.
Okay, they said that he had a deportation against him already. That there was like a whatever they call a stay of execution. They were like it was still being worked out in the courts, but that he had violated that, and that's why he got sent back. And then this whole idea that the president of El Salvador, or the president of the United States, even for that matter, could then bring him back to the United States is a complete falsehood. Now, this was said Sunday morning on Meet the Press. So everybody had 24 full, because when I saw it in the midst of my, trying to see if I could buy Margaret's blazer for my wife, just because we have a little thing going on. It's nobody's business but ours, right?
Well, and everybody you're talking to here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's not, I don't want you to think I'm just ogling Margaret. I just think, oh, that looks nice on Margaret. I wonder how it would look on my wife, right? That kind of thing.
I get it.
So I go, oh, well, this changes everything. If it turns out that this person really is part of this gang, or had some sort of violation for his green card or whatever it was, if that's the administration's stance, then what they did was within their rights. And the Supreme Court, you just talked about this, but they ruled 9-0 unanimously that it was not the president's responsibility to bring this person back. No, and with all of that information, Kaitlan still today thought it would be necessary to ask the president of El Salvador if he's going to extradite him back to the United States, which made no sense.
Of course he could do that. Why couldn't he do that?
Because
he's the president and a dictator. He can do whatever he wants.
Not a bad point. I don't have a response for that. But the point is that he can't just plop him back in the United States, which was his response. So let me play this.
He's not going to just plop him back. He would be transferred back to the United States under United States custody. The whole problem stems from the fact that he was deported without due process. They picked him up under suspicion and ushered him out of the country, and now he's gone. And it's like, and there was no due process. There was no, you're convicted of a crime. You're convicted of this. So if you're a criminal, and if you're here illegally and you're a violent criminal, yeah, okay, you can be deported. But he wasn't convicted of anything. That's the difference here. They suspected him of being in a gang.
Right. Yes.
They scooped him up and they deported him.
Yes. And we can have a whole conversation on whether that's right or not. Right. Because
that's not right. Due process. Everybody in the country under the Constitution gets due process. You can't just be suspected of something and then have the sentence carried out. You have to go through your day in court. You have to have that's the law.
Yeah. And you would be 1,000,000% right about that, except for the Aliens and Seditions Act, which gives the president a right to and the Secretary of State the right to pull anybody's green card and deport them if they view them as a threat to the country, which sounds kind of ridiculous, except for the fact that President Trump, prior to this, declared MS-13 a terrorist organization. And there was a reason why he did that. And it was because it would be easier for him to deport people that he or
whoever he wants
they suspected is a part of this thing. Yeah. So that's why the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 in his favor today, because it is within his rights and they are not required to bring this person back.
They're not. Well, the Supreme Court.
If it was you and they booted you and they got rid of you and there was an issue, that's different. You're an American citizen. You have rights.
But so is he.
But no, he's not an American citizen. No, he was here on a green card.
But he was here legally. He didn't. From my understanding, he didn't violate anything. He was just here legally. They scooped him up under suspicion, just because, and then they said you're out of the country. He didn't do anything wrong, or if he did, they didn't prove that he did anything wrong. It's one of those, we just don't like you. Get the hell out. It's maybe that. that act that they did from the World War II was enacted. Fine, I get that, but
it was before that. I think it was Adams maybe or Jefferson. It was
or
within the
whatever the hell
first
it was.
five. Where
So, yeah.
it was very
So
early
it's like,
on.
what are you talking about? This archaic law that
But
it's insane.
But he's within his rights, and the Supreme Court would not have ruled 9-0 in his favor if that wasn't the case. Kaitlan Collins knew
They didn't
this.
rule in his favor. They ruled against him. They
No.
ruled against Trump. They said, turn the plane around and bring him back.
No. That was the first time. That was different. They ruled for him because, and this all goes back to Rubio said this idea that he was a Maryland citizen or an American citizen or here legally and all that. It's all false. He was not. He's a citizen of El Salvador. The president of El Salvador confirmed that today. Let me play what happened today, and you could see why this is like such a, because if none of this had all happened in the last 24 hours, I would understand Kaitlan Collins' question. But the fact that, I mean, she's in the news, she should know what's going on. And the fact that the administration said that, hey, this is it. Now, if you want to say the administration is lying, I'm okay with that. But then you have to prove that. And that's going to take some time. But
you got to prove. But the fact that the guy's a criminal, you don't have to prove.
For right now, and I get it, Frank is disappointed in the system, and I'm not going to say you're wrong to feel that way. You feel however you want. But it is kind of stunning to me that the media and Kaitlan here are just like harping on this thing and this one person, and this idea that they might be wrong is not even entering their mind. Because it's going back to we just got to nail Trump for every last little thing.
That's not what it is.
He's right on this one.
Then it should be if Garcia was brought back here and put through the system and found guilty, then you could deport him. But the fact that you just said, we don't like you, we suspect you, get out. You uproot someone's life based on a hunch, then that's. It violates a constitutional violation. Everybody has the right to due process. That's the whatever act that you're talking about. I forget the name of it. The act from the Revolutionary War, whatever.
Seditions Act.
That one. That's not in the Constitution. You have a right to due process. Every person in this country has a right to due process. Is in the Constitution. Everybody has that right. And the fact that he didn't get that. He just gets deported with maybe he is guilty. Maybe he did something terrible. Maybe he's a gang member. Maybe we don't know that. The point of the Constitution is you have to prove that and then carry out the sentence. You don't just carry out a sentence.
Okay, but it's one thing if he's wrongly deported. But if we're taking the administration at their word and he does have ties to this MS-13 gang.
That's the problem. You have to prove it. It has to be. You can't just say.
But they don't. But they don't. And that's why people who are here
on the Constitution means nothing. More of a guideline. The Constitution.
It's not that it means nothing. It's just there's a process to becoming a citizen, and you have to be on your best behavior during that process. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like President Trump isn't using this act and pulling it as far in the direction he wants it to go in as like he's bending it to where he needs it to go. He's doing that. He's 100% doing it, but it's still within his rights as the president of the United States to do that.
It doesn't mean it's right because he enacts some ancient law that nobody uses anymore.
I know.
Doesn't mean that you could subvert the Constitution.
Understandable. You say that now, but if there was a real legitimate threat who is gaining power
then arrest him and put him through the system. You arrest people. Maybe that's what the law is. You arrest someone. They get a lawyer. They're entitled to legal representation. They go through the system. Someone has to prove him guilty and then deport him if he's proven guilty. If he's proven innocent, then he's free to go. That's our legal system. That's how it's worked. I mean, there were laws that said women can't vote. You can't just all of a sudden bring up, hey,
good old days.
we're gonna,
am I right, Frankie? Remember how we were texting before the show?
You can't just reenact a law that says that and subvert the Constitution, which now says women can vote. And it's just, we don't. The administration say, well, we're seeing a lot of trouble from women lately, and we don't really trust them anymore. So we're going to go back to this law from 200 years ago, enact that. And remember when the Constitution said women can vote? Yeah, we're going to go right around that. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to just enact this ancient law from before it was written. So, I mean, I don't understand. The Constitution has got to be the first thing.
I agree, but it's not the rules right now. It's just not how the rules are set up, and the president is using
not the rule anymore.
But the Alien and Seditions Act is a part of our Constitution, and he is using that.
It's not a part of our Constitution. It's a part of whatever, it's a law maybe that someone enacted a long time ago, but it's not in the Constitution.
Okay, well, however you want to word it. Yeah, correct.
No, that's how I want to word it.
Okay. Okay, I will give you that. But it is the law of the land. You agree? It's the law?
It shouldn't be taken above the Constitution. If it's the law, then it should be. It's contradictory to the Constitution. It shouldn't be the law because the Constitution says one thing, and you just enact something from before the Constitution. This part of the Constitution was written.
Well, but there's amendments to the Constitution. We've been passing a whole slew of them since we started.
Okay. Well, when there's an amendment that takes away everybody's due process, then tell me, then you could deport whoever you want. But since the Constitution says everybody gets due process, that's where we are.
So nothing to the point of we're at a crisis stage with how poorly illegal immigration has been handled in this country that doesn't play any part in any of this?
No, because we're at a crisis with guns. We're at a crisis with drugs. We're at a crisis. So if you call everything a crisis, then you can act whatever law you want, and it's just why not? Why even have the Constitution? If you have a problem with this guy Garcia, you arrest him and you put him through the system. You can't just kick him out of the country he's here. If he's here legally and doing whatever he's doing.
I understand, but what the administration is saying is there's no time for that because this is an emergency.
Why? What happened? What is tomorrow a deadline of some kind?
By the way, I hope everybody can appreciate the beating I'm taking right now because nobody is on my side. What
is this? No time. No time. What does that mean?
Listen.
No time. I got a golf game in a couple of days. I have to be on the golf course. There's no time. I can't look at this case. What am I supposed to do? I got 18 holes to play tomorrow.
He plans on paving the rose garden, which is this may be my favorite
thing.
Ever.
He's just an asshole. I can't with this guy. One of the most
it'd be good, some gold and some concrete. I was like, what is this guy? This guy really is from Queens. I don't know if you know this, but Queens, the borough of New York, we are masters at taking grass and turning it into concrete.
And paving over it. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll put a gravel garden.
Let's get some nice pavers. I was watching this paver commercial. The family seemed lovely. We're gonna put some pavers in the rose garden. It's gonna be great. Armor Tech.
Yeah.
Do they all have the Armor Tech, or is that a Long Island thing? We got these Armor Tech commercials. They're terrible.
Yeah, is that a made up thing, or is it like a universal? We're using is that like undercoating?
Yeah, exactly. It's some marketing douchebag that's like, oh, Armor Tech. Let's.
It sounds strong.
Yeah,
it's technology and it's armor.
Yeah,
Armor Tech. Got it.
Sounds great. No, but listen, you may not like it, but my whole entire point.
I don't like it.
You may not like it, but other people have said it, including Democrats, including Democrat presidents, about how they're going to deport people and save everything.
People get deported all the time.
I know, but they don't. They're not trying to do it at the scale that he's trying to do it, and I feel like
doesn't make it right.
But listen to me. I feel like it's getting thwarted because you and all the Democrats just hate this guy so fucking much that sometimes it might be hard to see that he might be doing something for the betterment of everybody, even though it's not the great traditional American welcoming look that we like to paint ourselves as.
So if you got picked up tomorrow, and they picked you up and they just deported you, they sent you to some country, and your wife and kids couldn't find you, forget it's you.
Oh,
but your wife and kids.
Now you're talking, buddy. Are you trying to paint a bad scenario? Because you're painting my dream.
Okay, let's say someone who's a nice person got picked up.
Wait, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
That El Salvador prison, did you see Christine Noam in front of there's just all dudes, and it looks like a rough place. I was like, I'd give anything to be there right now over in my house with my kids who are off for Easter break. It's not good.
Let's say someone you cared about. Let's say,
Frank, if you put me in that room right now, I'd have a better feeling about surviving the week than I do currently in this house right now.
Anyway.
Okay, go back to making your point. I'm just saying, you know.
Who's someone you care about?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Peace and quiet.
Let's say Peace and Quiet was deported tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
And you couldn't find them. No, let's say you're oh God, I was going to say.
I get it. Nobody wants an American citizen to be scooped up, wrongly labeled, and
that's what happened.
Everybody's nightmare.
That's what happened, and I have no intention of correcting it.
I understand that, but when we're like a week and a half out of this, and the State Department says, "Oh, by the way, we researched it, and it turns out that it's not what was first reported in the news." So he's got to go, and the people of El Salvador there's no obligation for them to bring him back. Nobody lets it go. They all act like this guy is still the worst thing to happen to the
What do you mean let it go? The Supreme Court said bring this guy back, and El Salvador and Trump said no. Yeah,
but they were overruled. The Supreme Court was overruled. I mean, I'm sorry.
You can't overrule the Supreme Court.
No, I'm sorry. The district court was overruled.
Supreme Court told Trump,
hold on.
Turn the plane around.
Here's what happened. No. Right. But here's what you have to understand. The based off of the original district court, the judge who said that the administration had to facilitate bringing this man back. The Supreme Court went and ruled on that on Thursday, and in a 9-0 decision said, in no way, shape, or form does the administration have to bring this person back. If they deemed him to be deport worthy, and he was, that's what they did. So by the way, I got to play the clip. Let me just play the clip of what happened today, so that everybody can hear the exchange between Kaitlan Collins and President Trump and the president. I'm going to just call him President Suave.
Well, I'm supposedly not suggesting that I smuggle a terrorist into the United States, right? How can I smuggle? How can I return him to the United States? Like, I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, I mean, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm not releasing. I mean, we're not very fond of releasing terrorists into our country. I mean, we just turned the murder capital of the world into the safest country of the Western Hemisphere, and you want us to go back into the releasing criminals so we can go back to being the murder capital of the world? No, that's not going to happen.
Well, they'd love to have a criminal, released into our
country. I mean, there's a fascination.
They would love it.
Yeah,
they're sick. These are sick people.
Well, I can't with this asshole.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen,
such an asshole.
I don't understand what the confusion is. This individual,
but if anybody,
he was illegally in the United States and was returned to his country. That's where you deport people back to their country of origin, except for Venezuela that wasn't refusing to take people back, or places like that. I can tell you this, Mr. President. No, the foreign policy of the United States is conducted by the President of the United States, not by a court. And no court in the United States has a right to conduct the foreign policy of the United States. It's that simple.
And that's incorrect.
And that's what the Supreme Court held, by the way, to Marco's point. The Supreme Court said exactly what Marco said, that no court has the authority to compel the foreign policy function of the United States. We won a case 9-0, and people like CNN are portraying it as a loss, as usual, because they want foreign terrorists in the country who kidnap women and children.
That's a lie.
President Trump, his policy is foreign terrorists that are here illegally get expelled from the country, which, by the way, is a 90-10 issue.
When he
That's
says
a lie.
90-10, when he says 90-10 issue, he means everybody is basically on the. It's an issue that's not really an issue in the country because everybody believes that to be true. But now let's play devil's advocate here. That the original report that this guy was from Maryland and is a Maryland citizen and is not associated with MS-13. What if that was wrong? Then what's all the hubbub for? What is she grilling? Why? I don't understand why a reporter needs to ask the president of El Salvador during a White House Oval Office visit about this when the Supreme Court just ruled on it and clarification was doled out 24 hours prior by the administration.
No. Well, you're basing it on what Stephen Miller just said. You're basing the fact that the Supreme Court ruled on it solely on what Stephen Miller just said, right?
Well, Stephen Miller sugarcoated it a little bit because what the decision said was that the administration in no way had to bring him back, that a court could not force the administration to bring back somebody into the United States that they had deported.
Look it up, because he said that the Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration. Please correct me, someone in the chat, because I'm almost positive that it was the exact opposite of what Stephen Miller just said, that the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that he had to bring him back. Because I'm pretty sure Steve Miller is lying there and said that they won 9-0, but I'm pretty sure that they lost 9-0, and Stephen Miller is just flat out lying.
No, I don't think so. No, I think they ruled that they don't have to bring him back.
I can't. There's no way that's true. I just saw it today. All right, maybe I'm misinformed, but again, due process. Everybody needs due process, and this guy didn't get it, and he got deported. That's where it's wrong. And if you're telling me something different, it's news to me. But I thought it was a 9-0 decision that this guy needed due process and had to be brought back. Hey, would you blow me? Says Frank is correct. Robin says 9-0 against Trump.
No. Okay, listen.
Paul says yes, Frankie C.
The Supreme Court ruled that the Trump administration, let me see here, must try to release a Maryland man who's in a 9-0 ruling. The justices declined to block the lower court's order to facilitate bringing back Kilmar Garcia. But they also said Judge Paula Zinnes may have exceeded her authority. On Friday, Judge Zinnes directed the Trump administration to provide her with daily updates on what steps they are taking to bring Garcia back to the U.S. The government has conceded Garcia was deported due to an administrative error, though it also alleges he is a member of the MS-13 gang, which his lawyer denies. It's one of a dozen of alleged gang members migrants placed in the U.S. on military planes last month and flown to El Salvador under an arrangement between the two countries.
Which, this guy that I watch every now and then, Brian Tyler Cohen. You ever hear of him?
No.
He's a guy on YouTube. He's a journalist. He goes, it's basically, we're at the point where the president of the United States could just make you disappear without due process. He could just pick you up.
Very scary. Yes.
Pick you up and send you wherever he wants. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes.
That's an awful thing. And that's the reason we have the Constitution. So shit like this doesn't happen.
Any president could do it. Any president can do it. It's just nobody has been doing it. He's just deciding to start to do it.
You can't. The Constitution says you can't.
No, the Alien and Sedition Act says that they can.
An act that it's 200 years old, that the Constitution came after it and said everybody needs due process. That Constitution supersedes all of the laws. It says you have to go to this guy's constitutional right was violated. And for some reason, the Law and Order party is like, nope, Constitution doesn't mean anything. It's this 200-year-old act that we're going to follow, not the fucking Constitution of the United States.
Then Congress should get together and get rid of the Alien and Sedition Act. And they've had every opportunity to since it was passed in 1798.
That doesn't. It shouldn't be stronger than the Constitution. There could be an act in there that says something complete. It's probably an act that happened that says something completely racist, that certain people can't do certain things. There's probably an act that is somewhere in our archives of American history, but the Constitution gives everybody equal rights. So that should supersede anything that came before it. And the fact that you have the Constitution and you have this 200-year-old act, and everybody's going, yeah, let's go with the 200-year-old act, not the fucking Constitution of the country.
I know, but what you are not giving any credence to is that people voted this guy into the White House and gave him an overwhelming mandate. He ran on this.
Yeah, but if you're going to do something, you have to do it legally.
But by the
He
way,
was all about I'm all for immigration, but you have to do it legally.
But
You have to do it legally.
Let's be fair.
Legally. Law and order. The law and order party, the law and order president doesn't give a fuck about the law. That's the problem.
That's funny. Two things here. Robin says Anthony would let him back in the country if he promises to wear a blazer. Maybe.
We can enact the 1792 blazer law if you want.
By the way, if this was a chick in a blazer who got deported, Robin's right. I'd be all over this. I'd be on.
You'd be all over it. You'd be on my side in a second.
I'd be saying this cheese doodle in here in the White House needs to get his act straight. I would definitely be on your side. Also, Janine claims to be muted, and she's been unmuted in the show for like the last 20 minutes.
Nope, I wasn't, because I was yelling at you guys, and
I
no
might
one was responding.
I might not have seen you get into the green room right away, but you've been on for like 15 minutes. I will say that.
How ironic.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, yell.
Let me just make this one point. What was the last thing that you said just before I did the Robin comment?
The Constitution. I don't know what the law and order party. The guy doesn't give a fuck about the law. He was elected by the people.
That was okay. Okay. The way our country works is yes, the Constitution and the president and the balance of power and everything. I'm going to spit out some facts right now.
About time.
Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, right? I mean, almost everything that he did, and he wrote about this. Like he wrote about it including the Emancipation Proclamation. He was just like, I don't know if this is legal or not. He's like, I'm just going to do it. I believe I have these rights, and he would do these things. And by the way, you can't get morally better than what. We
were in the middle of the Civil War, right?
Yeah. No, I know that. I'm aware. But he did a lot of things, and he was accused of being a tyrant and a dictator, and all this. People wrote horrible things about him, but he felt that he was morally right and he was doing something that was right for the country. Right?
I get that. Okay, but look at it.
Trump is doing the same thing. You may not agree with it.
Are you comparing Trump to fucking Lincoln?
Well, he's the greatest president we've had since Lincoln. That's what he told me.
I'm fucking floored right now that you compared the Emancipation Proclamation to a 200-year-old thing that deports people without due process.
What I'm saying is any president over the course of time will bend and will the law to their interpretation to get done what they see fit to get done. Same way Lincoln did righteously with the Emancipation Proclamation. And not even, I just bring that's one example. There was like 7 things he did that were deemed questionable. And he was even worried that Congress would put him back in his place.
Deemed questionable by whom?
Congress.
People who wanted to keep slavery and people who wanted the North to lose.
Well, yeah, but here's the point. Like at one point,
the wrong side of history is my point.
At one point, Lincoln had to acquiesce that slaves were property in order for him to, I might be mistaken about this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. The Emancipation Proclamation basically says slaves are property, and that any property of anybody, illegal government or rebellion belongs to the United States of America, and that's how he was able to write the Emancipation. So even though he didn't agree that slaves were property, he used that point of the law to get them free. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's a prime example of we just got to get through and navigate so that we can make this happen, so that Congress doesn't, write a law against it or take the power away from the president, and the Supreme Court doesn't rule against the president, is what I'm saying.
I can't.
Cliff notes of this guy, please.
I can't even like.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up.
Okay, well, what Lincoln did was free people from being tortured and murdered, and okay,
what he did was
that's a just thing to do.
Let me save you some time here. What he did was morally 1,000,000,000% better than what we're talking about today. I don't disagree with that.
So I think if you look back in our past, there's the right side. There are people that were fighting for good things and for bad things.
You're saying Trump is on the wrong side of this.
Yes.
But what would you say to the people who lost family members to gang members, whose family members were raped, and all of that for all these people?
I would say deport the person who did it.
I know, but you're going to tell those people, just let these criminals hang around for a little while longer while due process happens, even though you might be risking more of your family members.
If they're violent criminals, you swoop them up and you put them through the process. I'm not saying, so you're suggesting just swoop up anybody on the because they might hurt someone?
No, because they're illegal.
Because they're illegal. Well, that's not the point. The point is this guy is here legally. The guy we were talking about is here legally. And they swooped him up. They swooped him up and deported him.
I thought he wasn't here legally.
No, he's here legally. They swooped him up because they thought he was a gang member.
According to the administration, he had a deportation thing. He was already in the process of being deported when they scooped him up. That the original report that he was here legally was wrong. That's what the administration is saying.
Well, that's wrong because his lawyer came forward and said he's here legally, and the fact that they just picked him up under suspicion of being a gang member and they deported him. He didn't go through a trial. It wasn't proven anything. He wasn't proven in a court of law that he was any kind of a threat or that he committed any crime. They just picked him up and deported him. And if once you could do that, then the Constitution doesn't mean anything anymore. You could just they could come over tomorrow, pick you up and send you to whatever country, and then they'll go, oh, but we suspected he was a gang member. We had reason to believe he was a gang member. Well, did he go to court? Did he prove he was a gang member? No, we just figured, we'll get rid of him because what if he murdered someone tomorrow? It's like, well, what are you doing? You can't.
If they have
suspicion, pick people up.
If they have suspicion, then why not? If they have like a legit reason.
Well, what makes it legit? You have to prove that.
I don't know, and you don't know, but that's not my job or your job. It's their job.
It's their job to arrest people. They can if they wanted to arrest this guy Garcia, fine. But then a court of law has to say you're guilty of this. Now you're deported. They can't just deport. They can't go through with a sentence without him being proven guilty of something. They didn't do that. They just said, we think you're guilty. We're going to skip all the law. We're going to skip all of the your day in court. You have no due process and you're gone. That's what they did.
The dangerous side to what Frank is saying is the McCarthy. What was the communism thing? We got to a point in the country where it was like, oh, so and so is a communist, and then they were getting blacklisted, and So I think that there's a downside to what's happening, and there's a bad side to this. By the way, if this lawyer is able to prove, which I don't know how anybody would do that, but if his lawyer is able to prove all of this, these people are in a world of fucking trouble. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. You can't just forget the Constitution exists. Constitution guarantees everybody in this country, citizen or not, everybody in this country gets due process.
If they're legal or not legal?
Anybody in this country, legal or you're here legally or not, you get due process.
The only thing that contradicts that is the Alien and Sedition Act, which gives the president the right to deport anybody he deems as a threat to the country.
Yeah. And there were acts that were in favor, there were acts that were put in law, I'm sure, that didn't let people, African American people, vote, and let them sit in certain parts of a restaurant or whatever the cases may be. But they're not in law anymore. The Constitution came along and said everybody's equal under the law, due process. You can't just go back to 200 years ago, before we even had a civil war, the time when there was slavery, and say we're going to enact this law because it fits what we want to do, and just say we're forgetting about the Constitution. The Constitution is the umbrella that you have to follow for everything, and then there's laws underneath.
Yeah, Paul says it's got to be war. Well, that's why they declare these emergencies and all that stuff. I just want to say this. Paul also said that he was suspicious of J-Sabs, and Mercury said, I've always been suspicious of J-Sabs. So,
well,
J-Sabs is like just one more person away from getting deported away, you know.
So, as long as they're suspicious of you, J-Sab, sorry, you got to go. That's it. We're deporting you.
Here's the thing. Tricks on everybody, because she would love to be in a prison with dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, if the
hard-nosed tattooed dudes, that's J-Sab. Do you know what I realized, Frank?
What?
Somebody pointed this out to me. Somebody close to me, who I will not say who, but they go, there's almost two different podcasts. I go, what do you mean? They go, Frank and you get into a lot of moral discussions, and then J-Sabs and you talk about, did I miss the boat on becoming a dominatrix 20 years ago? This is two different sides.
Dominatrix 20 years ago.
Yeah, last time you missed an episode and J-Sabs was here, we discussed that maybe she missed her calling of being a dominatrix. And I thought it was a fascinating talk.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I should have been, but during my lunch hour only, though. That's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to make you sound like a whore or anything. You're right. Lunch hour dominatrix, only. That's
a selling point. That's the website, lunchhourdominatrix.com.
Oh, see, now we got a marketing plan coming together. I like that.
Right.
Let's talk about something that we could all agree on, and that's that JD Vance is a bumbling idiot. And
wait, can you take away the pic? I want to see if you have Bill Maher on here in your list of topics.
No, I don't. Not. I ran out of time. I would like to talk. I mean, I'd like to talk about it if you want to talk about it.
I'm exhausted.
Okay, here's I will tell you my legitimate problem with Democrats, Frank, and definitely your feelings on this. Everything, if it's not just dissent with Trump, it's bad. Like, you have a problem with Bill Maher going to the White House for dinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he wants to bring him on his show, and have a debate with him, or have some kind of, but to sit down and act like your buddy, and like that's.
He didn't, though. That's the whole thing. He did not act like he was buddy with him.
Yeah. Did you hear Bill Maher's recap?
I heard some of it. I didn't watch the whole half hour or whatever the hell he does. What did he do?
He gave him some shit. He gave him some ribbing. Basically, the takeaway was that, that there is a real person there to President Trump, and that he actually got to talk to him, and not the person not the crazy asshole that you see on TV that he disagrees with a lot.
Well, when the cameras aren't rolling, that's what, the people, I don't care what he is behind closed doors, the policies that he enacts and how he is in front of the cameras and how he is to the entire world is what matters. What he is to one or two people behind closed doors doesn't affect millions of people.
Maher said, Janine, you tell me if I'm wrong, that he pointed out some things to him that, President Trump was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he did. He did say that.
Like, I don't know if he's going to do anything with it.
Like what?
So it was one of them was Saudi Arabia, something with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that he was his. What the fuck is?
I forget what it was.
Yep, I hear a cat.
But I see stuff like that. See, you get mad. I love stuff like this because I'm like, any chance, if you can get somebody like Bill Maher, who does not agree with that man a lot,
at all,
to go into that White House, and then he has to listen to him for an hour and a half, that's a good thing.
Yep.
Maybe. I think the cameras should be rolling, though.
I think that's when you get it. That's when you get the asshole, Trump. That's when you can't work with that guy.
Then nothing that happened there matters. because he could have said this, he could have said that, and we don't know what happened, and we don't know what Trump said in return. We don't know. So we're all basing this. We're basing this on what Maher said. We don't know what Trump's reaction was. We don't know if he took any of it to heart. We don't know if he was even listening to him. We don't know what the hell went on in there. All we know is he went to dinner. Bill Maher spoke to him, and Trump. We don't know what the reaction was. I'd love to know. I'd love to be a fly on the wall. But
all we got was Bill Maher's reaction. You know, it was funny. Bill Maher brought all the insults that Trump ever tweeted about him, and he asked Trump to sign the. He printed them all out.
Oh, how playful!
That was pretty funny. Damn, Frank. I wish you weren't.
I can't.
You need.
I can't take Trump's. No, I can't be funny. I can't be fun with Trump. I can't do it because he's too much of an asshole and too much of a serious problem. Sorry. I'd love to be. I could be fun and friendly about everything else, but I can't with this guy.
I hear you. I don't blame you because I feel the same way about Meghan Markle. So
Exactly.
I can't crucify you for that.
Did you see what he did with what they just passed the you have to have ID for to be able to vote, but most women don't have. Like you have to have the correct last name, and a lot of people don't have. So it's like a roundabout. They're trying to subvert, women from voting. It's like a whole big thing.
I would not take that like that at all.
When most of the women can't vote now, yeah, that's a problem.
Well, change your license then.
Well, sometimes it's not that easy. You have to have your birth certificate. You have to go through mountains of paper. You have to. It's a long process, and you have to have your social security card. You can't just go to the store, change it, and come home. It's a process.
No, I know, but you have to do certain things in life, like that. That's the same way when you get a passport or a. What, new enhanced ID? I can't remember what I just.
Oh yeah,
not everybody has
ID,
that,
baby. Oh baby, my ID has been enhanced for years.
Right,
well,
but
my wife has to get one of those, and she is not happy. I said, "Good, then now you can vote." That's the way it should be. Told her, get in the kitchen, cook something.
Make me a sandwich.
Frankie, you look stressed, but you're not the one who's getting hate mail after this episode. That's all coming my way.
Enjoy.
All right, look at this half an asshole. Look at this. So the Ohio State Buckeyes go to the White House to celebrate their national championship, and somebody thought it was a good idea to put the most unathletic person we've ever put into government, J.D. Vance, in charge of picking up the trophy. Let's watch how well this went for J.D. Vance.
And broken.
He broke the net.
What a fucking tool.
Wait, okay. See the guy helping him? There's a guy behind him. There's a guy behind him. And then there's a guy behind him. He's the last full-bodied guy in the frame, right? Here. He is so disappointed. This guy is so fucking disappointed that Butterfinger Vance couldn't fucking hold on to the college championship trophy. Yeah. I just want to say this. Whoever wins the Stanley Cup cannot go there, okay? Because they make these college trophies every year. The Stanley Cup is over 120 years old, okay? We cannot put it in the fingers of J.D. Vance.
Yeah, and that thing gets abused.
Oh, my gosh. It really does.
That cup it's seen some shit.
But look at this. Have you ever seen a less athletic person who's fucked a couch just bumble? Look at and then he
you goofy you goofy bastard, you. Not to get serious.
Like you never fucked a couch.
But that's not the point. I've never dropped the trophy. That's what we're trying to focus on right now. All right, let's say. Wait, look at the guy. Look at the. Did you see his put his hands like this? I don't know who that player is, but he's my favorite player. Okay, watch him again. Let's just everybody watch the left side of the screen. Watch as Vance watches the camera, comes out. Look at this guy. Look at, oh no.
He's like, yeah, J.D. Vance is the worst. Is the worst vice president we've ever had.
And then he's like, "Oh, maybe we should put it down."
What an idiot!
I let him hold the top.
Hey guys, here's the top half of a trophy.
Look at how disappointed Trump is. Let's go back and watch Trump's face now. Wait, watch. All right, let's see. He picks it up. He drops it. Look at Trump. He looks over like, why did I pick this fucking asshole?
Idiot.
Holy shit. He's bad enough. He's out here dressed exactly like. By the way, look at the two. They're dressed exactly alike. They have the same shade suit, same red tie. Look, he's dressing like Trump now.
Yeah, no, he's an asshole too.
Oh,
He said some terrible shit recently. I'm not going to get into it.
Who, JD said some terrible stuff?
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
Yeah. He called basically Chinese workers peasants.
Oh, is that what
in China? People in China who the peasants. It's like, what the fuck? You don't call people a whole group of people peasants. That's not a. You're the fucking vice president of the United States. You don't refer to a whole nation of people, workers, as peasants. You giant idiot. Anyway,
you can't go out there and call people peasants and then drop a trophy. I'll give you that. That's not.
Yeah, you couple those together, it's extra bad.
Yeah, it's really not a good look for the United States. It's not a good day for us. We can't even hold up a fucking trophy. I mean, that's because I think he's never gotten a trophy. I don't know if anybody's ever given him a trophy.
That's absolutely. He's never held a trophy.
He's like, how does this work? I don't understand what do we do?
You break it and then what? The confetti shoots out? Is that what happens?
This is how it works. All right.
Okay, what's the next topic?
Let's talk about something that's really a problem, because everything up until now has been fluff and nonsense. This is what really matters. Meghan Markle is batshit crazy.
You promised you'd never talk about her again.
It can't be done.
Okay.
It can't be done. According to a report, Meghan Markle sent a box of her as ever products to the king as like a peace offering.
That's bad.
What? You derailed the royal family. You split it up essentially.
Here's a candle and some honey. Hope we could be friends.
You went on Oprah on Netflix and was like, oh, they're a pack of racists. They said racist things. And then when you were asked what exactly and who said it, you were like, oh, I'm not going to tell you.
Ugh.
And now you're sending the king of England, a jar of honey and raspberry spread. Have you fucking lost your mind? No.
I wonder if you used any of it.
No, I get it. No, I'm crazy. No, I'm the weirdo with the problem, right? I'm the one who won't let it go.
Here's what I'm imagining. I'm imagining with the king with a jar of jam, a little spoon, some toast going, that fucking can't even. And he's like, good fucking jam, though.
That fucking guy has never seen he's never buttered toast in his life. What are you kidding me?
Whatever, I don't know. I was trying to create a comical scene, but no.
No, I get it. All right,
his servants are there going, this fucking.
That servants, I agree.
Servants pissed off.
And then, so supposedly she also wrote like, she referred to herself as Your Royal Highness, I think, or something like that. I forget. I don't know what.
She referred to herself as that?
Yeah, or hold on, let me see here. She published a message that addressed her as Your Royal Highness.
That's not cool. You're not any of that anymore.
Yeah, like somebody said to her, Your Royal Highness, and she like shared it. She published it, like, I guess, and she's not.
All right. I mean, I don't know. That's a situation I don't know if we've come up against before. Like if someone called you, it's just as good as if someone called you or I King Frank or King Anthony, and we reposted it.
Yeah, that's true. I know, but we don't have we weren't kicked. If we were kicked out of the royal family and they were like,
that's probably not going to go over well.
Yeah. But
I wonder if Harry is like, what are you doing? Stop it, please stop.
He's got to be. Can I tell you something? I feel for you because I know you're not happy with Trump, but could you imagine being Harry? I mean, it's like being you, but worse. Like
with Meghan Markle.
With Meghan Markle, at least you have a lovely wife,
the best wife in the world,
who can cheer you up, who can brighten your day, who's funny, who's intelligent, who's not mischievous or maniacal. She's genuinely a nice person, your wife. Like, I mean, far too good for you, if I haven't told you that enough in the last
100%.
2 weeks. Okay, good. I like to remind you every now and then not to fuck that up.
You
But
call me twice a day. I don't know why you have to bring it up on the podcast.
sometimes I text. I don't make people sound like I'm obsessed with it, but sometimes I just text. But the point is at least you have a family who loves you, and a wife and all this stuff. Like that man. I just feel so bad for that man.
Yeah, do you think does he talk to his brother anymore at all? Like,
no.
They don't even like on the side. Like, you think he's like, yeah, I gotta go. She's home. I can't.
Oh, you think on the side? Maybe. I don't know.
I wonder if they speak at all. That would be sad if they don't speak at all.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And the fact that she sent the King of England a fucking basket filled with cookie
That's some balls right there.
Tea that was not good, and raspberry spread. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. No, but I know what everybody's gonna say in the comments. Look at these two old white men. Do you have to be such a misogynist? Yeah, no, it's definitely me. I'm the one who's fucking crazy.
I mean,
this doesn't. For you, you're getting dragged into this. I feel like I'm the only person. Just how you were screaming for this poor immigrants' rights, I feel the same way about this. I would take that guy back for Meghan Markle. I would make that fucking trade today in 2 seconds. I would trade her for him. You say it's a bad thing. I wish President Trump would deport her. That would make me so happy. And it would be like, we don't need due process. I would give up my own due process. I'll burn it all down if we could just get rid of this fucking idiot who sends.
Yeah, but she'd be doing whatever she's doing in another country anyway.
Oh my God, she sends jam to the King of England. Can you?
I wonder
imagine?
if it made it all the way to him, or if it like went through a certain number of hands before someone went, "I'm not giving this to him." Like,
right? Could you imagine?
Like, how did we find out that she sent it to the king? Did she say, "I'm sending it to the King of England," or did like a King of England's representative say, "We got a basket from her"?
Okay. There have been several reports that she sent the products to the king. There's a lot of royal family insiders who I tend not to trust, but when they're all popping up saying the same thing, it's in that building somewhere. And you're right. There is some assistant or butler or whatever they fucking call themselves, magistrate. I don't even know what the fuck. There's that box landed on somebody's desk. They picked it up and went, "Oh fuck! Oh god, no!" Not,
Who's this from? Are you kidding me? Is this real? This is a prank, right? Was this leftover April Fools? What are we doing here? Is there going to be a box of snakes that are going to jump up
on a Monday? For Christ's sake, can't I get it just settled into the week?
I love how everybody in England is from Brooklyn all of a sudden. Like, oh, what's this basket here? Wait, I'm supposed to give this to the king? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm not giving this to him.
I'm not giving it. Get the intern. Where's the intern? Get the new intern kid in here. Here, take this to the king.
Remember the movie Coneheads?
Yeah.
Remember Dana Carvey's like, he doesn't want that right. I'll take this right now. He doesn't.
And he passed along.
Look what I found for you.
That's fucking great. Oh my god, that's great. I just
saw Millhouse in the chat before. Millhouse, if you're still here, what's up?
Oh yeah, I did see it. What did he say? It was something about Chief Wiggum. I missed it.
Yeah, it was a Simpsons reference. It was great.
Yeah,
you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, it's lost on me. But anyway, that's Meghan Markle. She's fucking delusional. And I know I said I wouldn't talk about it, and people are going to be mad at me. But fuck you. I mean, this is ridiculous. She's just utterly disgusting behavior on a daily basis. And everybody's like, "Oh, leave her alone. She's just trying to live her life. Don't be negative." I don't want to be negative. She's turned me into this. This is not my fucking fault. She's the one who keeps doing one stupid fucking thing after the next. It's never ending.
We got to get her on this podcast.
Oh my god! Just give it some time. We will be able to. Don't worry. She's gonna fall enough that we'll be able to. It won't even be a problem. It won't be a problem.
Waiting for it.
You know, it's funny. The kids over at the podcast Symposium I did a couple of weeks back, they were like, "How do you get a good guest?" I go, honestly, it's easier than you think. I'm like, you just have to show people you can do it, and show them that you have an audience. And they will come. It's not that hard. I'm like, I talked to a lot of people I had no business talking to because they were trying to promote some fucking bullshit they were trying to sell, and they just come right in. It's not that difficult.
You can give me 20 minutes of your time, and you don't they don't have to go anywhere. They just show up on the podcast, and there we are.
They fucking got it, and believe me, they love talking about themselves, so they're happy to be there. Frankie C, this is you, cruise ship lady. Okay, this woman lives on a cruise ship.
You a cruise ship lady?
Yeah. Oh, you're a cruise ship lady.
Okay.
Yeah. It's your fucking bingo and your trivia in there. Oh, big time.
Love bingo and trivia.
Big time. You're my
grandmother. The electronic bingo though. That's bullshit.
You're my grandmother. This is exactly what my grandmother would say up until the day she died.
Here's my problem.
Yeah.
Electronic bingo. Like all the numbers, you have the thing in front of you, and it's a set board that you have, and it already has the winner. Like it already know. It's not random. Maybe it's random in the beginning, like it'll randomly pick a card, but it knows which card it's going to assign as the winner as it's doing, because then you just scan it and that's the winning card. Like it knows the card that's going to be the winner. So I don't like that. I like the randomness of spur of the moment numbers being pulled out of a thing. That's the way bingo should be done, not this electronic. I know it's more efficient and it's quicker, but give me the bin, the turning thing, and with the white colored thing, the balls on it with the numbers any day. That's the best way to do bingo.
Do you also hate how the writing is too small and you can't read it without your bifocals?
Listen, I wasn't going to bring that up, but maybe.
Okay, so here's the headline. I didn't read the article. This woman lives on a cruise ship for free as long as she follows this bizarre rule.
Oh, what's the bizarre rule?
Right? You're curious to see what the bizarre rule is. Should I read All right, do you want me to read the whole article?
No.
Well, I just want to know what the bizarre rule is.
I don't know because I didn't read it. Okay.
Damn.
Talk about living the life. This woman and her husband live on a cruise ship for free, but there's a catch. Cruise ship living has been a part of Christine Castillo's life for many years.
I hate these articles. I'm sorry, but they restate the same thing 9 different ways before they get to the point. This woman lives on a cruise ship, but there's a catch. Cruise ships have women on it that have catches. A catch is something that it's like, what the? Tell me what the fucking catch is.
Okay, I got to it. Thank you for ranting. You gave me the room to do it. There's one part of the cruise that Castillo avoids. It's frowned upon. The casino floor.
Oh.
She says, I am not allowed to sit at a slot machine and play my heart until I win. And play my heart until I win because it would look a little weird if I, as the wife of the chief staff engineer, won like a big jackpot. So I'm not allowed to gamble on the ship.
Well, that's why she's allowed to live on because she's the wife of someone who works on the ship.
The chief engineer.
Chief engineer. I don't think just anybody, that's why she's allowed to live on the ship. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
She once had the title of cruise director and now accompanies her husband who works as the cruise's chief engineer. So she can't play in the casino and then she gets to live on the boat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're gonna have to fuck the chief engineer if you want. Let's just hope it's a woman because I know that's what you're into. If you want to live
if it gets us on a cruise ship, I mean, I'm willing to. No.
Would your wife be okay with that? She might be. Check with her.
Maybe I'll become the chief engineer.
How heartbreaking would it be if you said, "Honey, it'll be okay if I slept with this other woman," and she just went, "As long as I don't have to do it anymore, it'd be fine. It'd be great."
Oh. Wait, what do we get? We got the
and free cruises. I don't have to fuck you. And there's free cruises. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll find a way to get over it.
You're an ass. No, but I think. Well, that's why she gets to live on the ship. Is she's the wife of the chief engineer? I mean, it's not like she just has to. It's not like she's a average person that found a loophole or something.
Yeah, and these fucking articles. By the way, what does a chief engineer do on a cruise anyway? Give me a fucking break.
Well, engineer, you got to have someone running the mechanics of the ship.
Like the Titanic days. Give me. It's like mechanics now. It's a skill to be. Is it? Because every time I take my car in, they plug a computer into it, and then they go, "Oh, here's the problem. The machine told me what the problem was."
Oh yeah, but then you got to fix it. Yeah, he's not going to fix it.
They get that credit, but they don't get the credit for finding out what it is. They just plug in a machine.
Well, I'd rather have the machine find the problem.
Stephen A. Smith. A lot of people saying that he should run for president. In fact, even on the latest Bill Maher episode, Steve Bannon said, "I'm not worried about anybody on the left." except for Stephen A. Smith.
I don't even know who Stephen A. Smith is.
Okay. He's the guy from ESPN. He's the guy who had the little beef with LeBron recently.
I don't watch ESPN. I don't know.
People
I'm not a big sports guy.
Yeah, people love him, and it's funny because people keep bringing it up to him, and I've noticed his answer has changed because he was like, no, and the last time he was asked, he was still like, no, but he goes, my pastor said to me, this means something to people. Don't just negate it. He's like, so I'm going to leave the possibility open. I mean, we may have a Stephen A. Smith. People are so doubtful of the current roster of the Democrats that they're like, oh, I think Stephen A. Smith might be the guy to come in and take this ticket.
I'm going Bernie AOC or AOC Bernie.
Yeah? You think that's the tandem?
I mean, right now, we'll see what happens in 4 years. But right now, if the reelection was this year, those would be the front runners.
Interesting. Last of Us with Jay Zabs is here, so no spoilers. Okay. Episode 1, season 2, last night. What'd you think? I
liked it. Problem was, I thought it was a little slow to start.
Mm-hmm.
A little slow. I mean, I get it. They're trying to, there's a little bit of a time jump. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's right in the beginning. Time jump is right in the beginning. And there's some, she got a little annoying when it comes to her relationship with him. I can't remember names, but the main
Ellie
and the guy, I can't.
Wait,
the Mandalorian.
About her. Fun fact.
The Mandalorian. I mean, he saved her life 1,000,000 times, and she's acting like, oh, I don't need your. She literally said, I don't need your fucking help. It's like, okay, see ya. Like, I'm trying to help you here. Granted, she could take care of herself. I get that. She totally can. But can she?
No.
Because there was, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but stuff happens. And every now and then, we all need help. And when someone's there to help you, like the Mandalorian, thank you for your help. I don't know.
The Mandalorian.
What's his name? Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way,
great show. I love the show. But she, I know she wants to be on her own and she's independent, and that's great. But I don't think she's ready yet. I don't know. She's still immature. She's an adult, but she's immature, and she's not trained as well as she could be. Said
every parent of a 19-year-old ever in the history of everything.
She can make her own decisions. I get it. She's an adult, but the facts are, just based on there's a time jump. So we're 5 years later. She's 19 years old, and we see some stuff in the episode that shows that she's not ready to just be a leader yet. So she still has to work with people and accept help when she needs it. And there's no shame in that. You gotta learn to be open to it. And she's just not ready. That's all it is. I get she wants to be, and I get she's frustrated. But when the Mandalorian wants to offer some help, and I get there was that the incident that I'm talking about. It was not zombie related. That incident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get her frustration there, but she overreacted. I think to what happened. She overreacted to the Mandalorian. To what happened.
Well, what about what the Mandalorian did at the end of season 1? He made a big decision. The brilliance of this show is he made a big decision.
If I'm remembering right.
Not only
can we talk about that?
I don't know. We said spoiler free.
Yeah, but this was season 1. This was 3 years ago, 3 years ago.
Has it been that long?
I feel like it has.
This is why I always thought there was a season 2. I was like waiting for season 3, and I'm like, we haven't gotten season 2 yet.
It's been a while.
I know. I know. Paul says she's 19. Anybody, if you're a parent of a teenager, you're gonna love season 2. It's just
Yeah, I mean,
find some comfort in it.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I get you got to give her some space. You got to get, but when if she was being responsible, great. You want to be, take on some more responsibility. Do great, but just based on what she was doing in this episode, some of the things that she was doing showed that she was not being responsible and was not taking stuff seriously where she needed to. You know what I mean? There was some incidents in this episode.
Is Janine next to a dryer or is that a vibrator?
Oh, you know what it is?
Do you hear that buzz?
I wish it was a vibrator. How can you hear that though? Because it doesn't sound loud to me. It's the sounds of my fan on.
Oh, that's weird.
You can hear that?
You have to go to the doctor. Can I just tell you? You have to go to the doctor.
Why is that?
You have
for your hearing.
You have a heat and for your hearing. I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking more body temperature problems. But yeah, let's put the ears on it too. Let's go to the ear, nose, and throat while we're at it. Yeah, for sure.
Why ear, nose, and throat?
It's because hearing.
They're all connected. It's your hearing.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
That is the loudest humming I have ever heard. I feel like
God.
you're about to tell me you're my father. That's how loud that fucking fan is right now.
Nice.
I don't hear it at all.
Okay. All right. I was just checking.
Sounds like you're in an airplane hangar.
Yeah, no, I hear it. You should go back and watch an hour 16 into the episode and hear how loud that is.
I don't hear it anymore.
Every time Frank took a breath, all I heard was like every time there's a break.
Is it oscillating?
Oh, is it oscillating?
No.
Ceiling fan?
I think she just pumps a fan into her face.
It's a ceiling fan.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, about The Last of Us, I think you're right. I was watching that episode angry at Ellie. Like I said to my wife, I'm turning into an old man because I'm actually mad at her. I'm like, she's throwing away her entire future. Such an old fucking
in this zombie apocalypse world, she's throwing away her future. She should go to college.
Oh my god! But how good was what's her name from Home Alone? Kevin's mom. Oh my god!
That was a good scene. That was a good scene with her.
Was she in season 1 or did she come along in season 2?
Season 2 only.
This was the first time. Interesting premise they're setting up. And I think this season is going to be spectacular because of the way season 1 ended. It's like they've just set up all the characters to be at there's a lot of flaws and there's a lot of making up for things. And it's just, you feel like it's going to be a big season.
I feel like it's a different show now because similar thing happened with Walking Dead. Now, same, premise, zombie apocalypse, whatever. But now, I mean, we know, can I say where they are and what's going on a little bit now?
Yeah, for me, you can.
I mean, just the setting, just the setting where they are and everything. Okay. Yeah. So can you say that?
Yeah, go for it. I'll put the banner up.
Put the thing up. All right. Slight spoiler, not really, but a little spoiler. So basically, they're in like a settlement now. And when that happened in The Walking Dead...
Oh, no, wait. Give Mercury a second to mute. Okay. Mercury,
sorry. Mute. Mute. We'll maybe be back in. We'll take down the spoiler. So they're in a settlement now, and they're kind of adapting to life in a settlement. There's rules. There's, town life. It's not so easy, all that stuff. And there's training. There's guard duty, all this zombie apocalypse village stuff.
Frank, so when that happened, one important thing, but I'll clean it up for everybody when he's done. Go ahead.
Okay. So when that happened in The Walking Dead, it kind of changed the whole show to a different show. In The Walking Dead, in the first 2 or 3 seasons, they were still traveling around, fighting zombies, looking for resources, trying to find friends, and gather. It was people in motion, and they weren't settling, and they were moving around trying to find a cure and all this stuff. Now, with this show, the first season was them on the road fighting zombies, trying to get from point A to point B, doing all these things in between from there to there. And now it's a different show because
They're not doing
they're
not on the journey. You're saying they're not on the journey.
Not on the journey. I feel like it's different because I feel like in The Walking Dead, the zombies were way less of a threat. When they got to a civilization, they almost didn't. It wasn't even a zombie show anymore.
It didn't weird you out what happened with her.
No, that's what I was gonna say. It's not like The Walking Dead in this one. It's less of that because there is still. It's a different kind of zombie, and it's still a big threat. So that's good.
Did you know something? I didn't know this until somebody pointed it out to me that they don't use the Z word on this show.
They don't use the Z word. They call them clickers.
Yeah, intentionally. Yeah. They intentionally don't say zombies because they're technically not zombies. They're
aren't they
humans? They're humans that have been taken over by a fungal infection.
Yeah,
but really?
Yeah. Did you see the first season, J-Sabs?
Yep. So I know people loved it.
She had a sore arm to the whole first. Pedro Pascal really tendinitis. The whole thing.
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh boy!
I didn't know that show caused tendinitis.
Listen, she said it before. Hold on, let me bring up the JSAC. Hold on. Ugh, Pedro is so hot. He is so manly. I'm watching last night and I go, this guy's fucking gorgeous. I mean, I was starting to fall for him a little bit. I was like, holy shit, just the pure manliness of this guy. I was just Jesus.
What about the voice like butter?
Oh, I know it doesn't. And then he's got the great J-Seb. Did you notice how gray he is in this season?
Well, I didn't watch it yet, but
oh, well,
you mentioned it. I almost as soon as we get off.
Yeah, you should. I almost called you and was like, just make sure the kids are in bed. Let's make sure everybody. Make sure your husband's well hydrated because it's gonna be a thing.
Did you see who hosted SNL this weekend?
Yeah.
John Hamm.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He looks like his head. He looks like a square to me, like a literal square.
Minecraft?
Not like a nerd. I mean, like an actual shape of a square. Like his head.
He's like a Minecraft guy.
Yeah, he looks like he's from Minecraft. Yeah.
He's another one who could. Oh God, he's so hot.
Okay, give me a ranking then. I want to know Ham or Pedro Pascal, who's number one. Margaret Brennan and her vests, her blazers. You're right.
You nailed it.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go John Hamm first, then Pedro.
Wow, I'm stunned.
Yeah, can I have him at the same time though?
Frank, I would have lost $5 on that. That would have been the easiest $5 ever. I would have bet on Pedro.
Oh, damn it.
You know why that is because John Hamm is our first love. Him in those gray jogging pants.
No, the khaki pants too. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Whatever pants. I don't think it matters.
What's more sad, obsessing over John Hamm's wiener through his pants, or waking up early every Sunday morning to watch Margaret Brennan on Meet the Press?
Oh God.
What's more pathetic?
Your thing is more pathetic because
really,
it takes a little action. You have to actually do something. J-Sab's obsession. She just has to think about it.
Right. That could come in the middle of a day at a scroll, Right. There's real intention in mind. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
J-Sab's watching TV on the podcast. Is that what's happening?
No, I'm sorry. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I'm sorry, J-Sabs. I blame that noise on you. It was Anthony.
Yeah, no, that was me. Because Hilaria Baldwin's boyfriend came into play in, I guess, the latest episode of the Baldwin's TLC show. And I had to talk about this because it's so... do you think Alec Baldwin's a cuck?
I've never thought that before, but what are we talking about boyfriend here?
All right. So they ask her on the show. She's having dinner with Alec and two other dudes and a cat on the table. I don't know. And the producer asks if she ever dated an actor before.
All right.
Now, well, I mean, I wouldn't date an actor when he was an actor. I dated an actor who then got to be on Broadway, and we went to go see him naked.
So let me translate that for you. She dated somebody who then became an actor, who wound up getting on a Broadway show and was naked in the Broadway show. Cut to the talking head segment, which everybody knows the reality when they're sitting on the couch just talking to the camera. They call that the talking head segment. And we'll pick it up from here between these two.
I've seen one of the loves of her life naked. He was one of the loves of her life. He was a very important boyfriend of hers. I mean, we go see him on Broadway, and he was naked. And his whole, as our British friends, he had his bits out. He wanted to go see Take Me Out, the musical that our dear friend Scott Ellis directed, and all these baseball players were in the locker room, and they were all turned around naked with their dongs hanging out. And he's there, her boyfriend, and I recognize him. I met him before. And when he turns around with his personality hanging, I'm like, oh, okay. He had like a clarinet hanging from his pants. The guy literally turns around, and we were all like, whoa.
You remember this more than I do.
And when you meet him backstage, we go out into the lobby, we meet them all. And her boyfriend comes in, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
And I was like, I'm going to stay over here.
And you can't pay attention to a word he's saying. He's standing right here talking to me. I'm sitting looking at him going, and he's looking at me going, yeah, you know, the show and this and that and this. I'm like, you have like a baseball bat that you stuff into your pants every day. How does that work for you? All right, let's move on from that subject.
Jeez. He is Jack Donaghy.
Yeah, right. A little bit in real life.
Man,
he looks happy though. I feel bad for him, but he looks happy. I think
he's goofing around. Yeah, he seems like he's having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, this was better than when she told him to shut up on the red carpet. That was really bad. That was a
brutal moment.
That was brutal. This is like a little bit better, but I can't imagine going through that. That'll humble a guy.
Yeah,
right.
Aaron C. Cat for the table. Oh.
Just a little cat for the table. Do you ever have to deal with an ex-boyfriend? You don't have any crazy ex-boyfriends, do you?
No.
J-Sab, do you have any crazy ex-girlfriends you have to deal with?
Yeah, okay.
No, okay.
What about you?
I forget. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. But no, in the beginning there was some weirdness, but no, outside of that, it's been a long time. I can't imagine.
All right.
I can't imagine having to go through that. That's tough.
Do you ever have to see one of your wife's ex-boyfriends naked?
No, that's what I would be so miserable. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to that.
Did they know? I mean, they had to have known.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, there was a scene like that in there.
Oh, that there was a scene like that? I don't know, but they knew he was in the play. I guess you don't know there's a scene like that. But even still, I wouldn't want to go there and see my wife's ex doing anything.
I want to see this guy.
I don't want to have to go, oh, yeah, he's pretty good. I don't want to have to do any of that. That seems fucking awful.
I mean, Alec Baldwin was saying that a friend of theirs wrote the play or something.
Yeah, I would tell him. I'm sorry. I can't be there. I can't fucking be there.
Get rid of this guy, and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Right.
You want me to show up or cast somebody else then? Fuck that guy. No, I can't imagine going up and then he's got a huge hot. Could you imagine? Because you know what it is in your mind. I don't know about you, but in my mind, everybody that my wife was with before me is immediately better. It just looked better, smelled better, bigger penis, everything. Everything was better.
Yeah, but you should be happy that she was like, you're the one.
I'm disappointed in her that she chose that she settled for this. Is the problem?
You fell for it. Whatever you did, I don't know what you did, but
yeah,
you got a hypnosis thing going. Whatever it is, it's working.
I think what Christelle is saying is kind of true. He's just happy to be there. I think because I mean, let's be honest. Looks wise, she's gorgeous. She's very pretty. Very good.
Is there a big age? I don't know what the age difference is.
Oh, I mean, huge. 20-something years, I think, at least.
Oh,
He's
really?
like in his 70s.
No, is he in his 70s?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Great question. If Cuddles' ex was starring in Ovel the musical, you wouldn't go? Nope.
Aha!
I would not go. I would not go.
Fully closed.
Still wouldn't go. No,
All right.
still wouldn't.
Free tickets. No?
No, I wouldn't. And I love Erin more than anything. Well, I feel like I owe Erin a lot for all the wonderful games and all the hard work she puts into the podcast.
What if he was just on stage for 2 minutes and that was it?
No.
Do you know any of her ex-boyfriends?
No.
Do I know or just Cuddle?
No, Anthony.
Anthony.
I used to. I don't really remember them anymore.
I know them.
Shut the fuck up. You do not know.
J-Sab knows everybody. So doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, but I would be mad. I couldn't think of another reason to be mad at Erin other than this. To be like, well, how dare you fucking... Well, I would take that as, why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me?
Well, what if he's the best actor on Broadway and still no?
Yeah, tank your whole deal. That's what I want from Erin. I want her to tank everything she's ever worked for so that I don't have to feel uncomfortable for 3 minutes in the room.
That's decent. That's decent of you. That's the only decent thing you did.
I could lie to you and tell you I wish Erin nothing. I would sacrifice this for Erin, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Thank you, Robin. Putting the Ovel link in the chat. Appreciate it. Pick up Ovel, written by Erin. But
that's it. That's an episode. I mean, I don't got anything. I mean, Janina's still here, so I think she's got.
That's
Janina,
weird.
you have something else to say? I'm uncomfortable when you're here at the end. I don't know what to do with my hands.
It's weird, right?
I feel like I just got to stand here. And back to you, Jason. How do you want to end it?
What do we do?
And thank you for not.
I say we leave the rest of the show to J-Sabs.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about John Hamm's penis? His huge, massive penis? I'm uncomfortable watching John Hamm stuff now in the room with my wife, just knowing that he's just got a massive hog in there. I feel weird about the whole thing.
It's weird, right? It's like, okay.
My wife once said, like, oh, that comedian is cute. I'm not going to tell you who. Every time I see that guy now, I'm like, this fucking asshole. I'm like, he's not even that funny.
Oh, now you got to tell us.
I won't do it. No.
Come on.
No, because everybody's going to be like shoving it down my face. By the way, the Meghan Markle thing was the AOA holes. This because it keeps popping up in Discord, and then I get a notification, and I see it, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then the one today, it was her, and I was like, I'm not going to look this up. I'm not going to look it up, and then it got the better of me. I looked it up, and
you see,
broke my promise.
You got to resist. You got to go like a week without thinking about or looking up anything, and then if you could do a week, you could do a month.
Yeah, I know. Rhonda says, learn something about you today, Aunt. What's that? I would love to know what it is because I don't think it's good. Paul says, how do your exes measure up? Awful. Not good. Not good. They're nice people. I don't want to, but not good. Not good.
I don't know. Anthony hit the jackpot with cuddles.
All of Frank's exes stink too. I don't really care for any of them.
Yeah, I hit the jackpot. Erin is the best. Anthony and I both hit a home run.
Way over our head. Way over, yeah. So did the roommate, for that matter. I mean, he's hilarious, but still, I mean, Jay Sapp's a surprise. We all know that.
Oh. Do you owe me something? Is that why you're saying this?
Yeah, we're gonna ask you for a favor.
Yeah, we got a big favor to ask. I don't know. Why did Dr. Dex say Bert Kreischer?
Because is that the comedian that?
Oh no. I would forgive that. No, Bert Kreischer's hilarious. Who
it's
do
a
you
legit
think
good looking,
who is it?
Good looking guy.
No, this
John
is
Mulaney.
I know better than this is a mistake. I'm not going to say.
Is it John Mulaney?
No, it's not John Mulaney. John Mulaney's very funny.
Oh, someone who's not funny.
Did you watch that John Mulaney thing that I sent you?
No.
There was like a 12-minute John Mulaney thing. It was really long, but it was
12 minutes, man.
So fucking funny.
Send me 60 seconds. I can't do 12 minutes.
Do you watch his Netflix show? Because his Netflix,
No.
I watched one episode. I'm like, oh, this is fucking. I could give him the Meghan Markle treatment, except he's talented. But that show stinks. And then the next week, he came back with this 12-minute story about Bone Thugs and Harmony. I was rolling on the floor. It is so fucking funny.
I guess I gotta watch the thing.
Look up Bone Thugs and Harmony, John Mulaney story, and enjoy. So funny. I will tell you this. This is as far as I'm willing to go. If anybody guesses this guy's name, we don't have to do this now, but you could guess it at any time. I will confirm that they're right. if they get.
Is it a well-known, big, popular comedian?
I wouldn't say big and popular. I would say he's known. He's never had a TV show and he's just a stand-up. He's just been a stand-up who's been around for a really long time. He's been in some commercials and things. If I said his name, you probably won't know. If I showed you his picture,
so
you might go, "Oh yeah, I think I know that guy."
So then, what's the big deal
No, because everybody's going to use it against me. I can't.
Just add it to the pile. Who cares? Of all the shit that we use against you, this is one more thing. Who cares?
Good question, Miss Justice. 420 show is do some math here. Friday would be our only chance.
That's Friday. Yeah, we don't want to do it on a Monday because that's rough.
No. And I have a feeling, I don't want to step out of line here or say anything crazy. I think this Friday is going to be a good Friday. I am.
Where's the rim shot?
You may be sour on the current administration, say things aren't good, but come Friday, you're going to be like, you know what? This is a good Friday. This is a good Friday.
Yeah, just to make sure that by Saturday, I'm not like, this is holy Saturday.
That Holy Saturday. What's Mel Gibson doing? What's the sequel to Passion of the Christ? I mean, what's happening there? I don't
know. I try not to think too deeply about Mel Gibson's motivations.
I think about it all the time. I check the book.
That guy's off the reservation. He's gone.
No, but I'm saying I looked at the original script and he pretty much got it all. I don't know what we're gonna cover. Something at one time he was like going into hell and fighting. I'm like, this might be the biggest bomb we have ever seen. Passion 2, holy shit.
Electric Boogaloo. I don't know what they can do.
Did we ever find out what Rhonda found? No, we never knew. We'll never know.
Did you ever redo my figure?
No.
Damn it.
No, in fact, I was going to post the original figure clip with the figure pictures and then did you see all the funny pictures that Robin put in the Discord?
Yes. That was really good.
I was going to put all that stuff out and then we're doing Easter. I just can't. Just to have people over the house, the amount of work that's done. I mean, it's
well, to be fair, your wife does all that. Come on.
That's true. But it's like,
there were Seinfeld ones, Robin. I didn't see the Seinfeld ones.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to work on putting those out after this episode, but we'll redo the figures too.
Yeah, because I look not good.
You're really annoyed with the way you came out. I thought you came out so good. You were not happy. That broke my heart.
I don't think it looks like me, but if that's the one we're going with, okay.
No, it's wider than you. It's wider than how you should be portrayed. That's for sure.
Thank you. And I don't have. I mean, J Sabs and I don't have. Right, we have cartoon eyes. It's very weird. We just have black dots as eyes.
Yeah,
you have eyeballs. That doesn't really matter. I don't care. I'm just telling you the differences between. Because you see these figures that people do, and they look like the person but smaller. I look like a Charlie Brown character.
I have gorgeous eyes, though. You're leaving that part out of it. I should have better eyes than you guys.
Your eyes are all right.
J-Sab's eyes, empty. Nothing, no feelings in there.
I see the devil when I look in.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does.
They swirl into. That's like, oh, God.
Her husband does, that's for sure. That's what he tells me all the time, but I can't. Don't repeat that.
No, they turn into little bowls of salad.
That's true.
You had the big salad.
I thought everybody would be focused on the salad, and they weren't. They were all like, "Oh, Frankie looks weird." That's not my fault.
Caught me off guard. Yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah.
But pick up that Ovel, folks. Aaron wrote Ovel. It's a great book. Available at Amazon. You got a link in the description below. It's a wonderful book written by Erin C. herself. There's a copy Anthony's holding up right there. Buy a regular copy like that or download a digital version.
Buy it now before it hits Broadway and my wife's ex-boyfriend ruins it for everybody.
Exactly. You want to get the inside track on this one.
Yeah. You want to get it before they turn it into a bad movie that's not like the original text.
Show me potato salad.
Fucking Hollywood. Am I right, Frank?
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.
420 show on Friday.